I am Feel It.
And I am Fix It. And we talk about life.
And stuff and things.
With the occasional rant.
Which you will have no problem doing.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whatever it is where you're at, we hope you're having a good one.
Yes. Yes.
It is another chilly, blustery day with more wonderful winter weather moving our way in the very, very, very near future.
Well, we didn't. It's Happy Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Adam.
As our
youngest put it, because Adam came first. That's just funny.
I think I've heard that one before, but it was funny the way she said it out of nowhere. So yes. It was supposed to be freezing rain, and not here doesn't mean it wasn't bad elsewhere. It was like a little mistier earlier, but the snow's coming. Yeah, so. Yes. Again, worse north, don't miss that. Really. Like if you looked at the radar map right now as we were just looking at it, knowing that we have traveling family in upper northern Michigan into the UP, they are really getting it. The vast majority of the state is getting it north of us. So, yikes. Mm-hmm. Don't miss that.
Can't say that I do.
Miss the water, miss the trees. Don't miss that dark blue everywhere on the radar map.
Yeah. Should be fun.
But yes, as I have a loved one getting a procedure done today in northern Michigan, and hope she's doing well. I'll contact her later. But winter in Michigan. Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Gorgeous in the summer.
It is. And let's be honest, when the snow, you get that white snow on everything and that heavy stuff hanging on the trees, it is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Or, at night and you get the street lights and the snow's coming through it and you're like living in a snow globe. It is absolutely beautiful.
I don't remember the last time we had a white Christmas here.
And then you go outside with a shovel and you go, screw this white crap. It's good until that first time you get a shovel, and then it's kind of, okay, I'm over it.
It'll be a white Christmas. It'll be gone quickly after, but it'll be a white Christmas. So there's that.
I've said it multiple times. It can start snowing the 24th of December and stop snowing the 26th. I would be perfectly fine with that. Most of the time.
And speaking of, as it is Christmas Eve, we're going to talk about Christmas one more time.
Okay.
Why? Because we can.
Sure, why not?
And it's just different aspects of Christmas, right? So in that venture to try to make Christmas different in this strange season.
Sure.
We have Christmas done. We've had it done. Mm-hmm. Technically, I guess Friday you bought the last gift. Yeah. But we had it done.
Yeah. I mean, I it's just some little
stocking
stuff.
Stuffers.
Stocking stuffer kind of stuff. Just little small inconsequentials.
Need to get the stockings out of the attic because as we shared, we did not decorate the tree. We decorated with the lights that we purchased. So it went from the porch through the door, out of the box, onto the tree.
Yep.
We did not go into the attic. So you said you would.
Other than getting the tree down.
Get the stockings.
Yep.
And I said a brown paper bag was fine, and you want to get the stockings out. I said, that's cool.
I'll get the stockings. It's not that big a deal.
We went to the store, got the food, got the things. I said, I don't want to have to go back.
Yep.
And then we discovered that our family's gone through 2 bags of potatoes in 2 weeks. I said, I don't know how that happened.
Ditto. I don't
know where I was that happened, but okay.
Me neither.
So we did end up going out yesterday for my salmon jerky. which was my Christmas request, and potatoes.
Yep. Yeah.
But it was nice
Mm-hmm.
to have all the things done.
Yes.
And then some last minute decisions as to what would Christmas Eve food be.
Mm-hmm.
We've had Chinese and pizza tossed out. So
Yep.
is that going to be a combo? Is it going to be both? I don't know.
Could be. Could be. And either or both or whatever. I'm good. I can almost always find something I'm going to enjoy wherever, doing whatever. So.
And very specific. It was Panda Express. Again, not
Yes.
a sponsor. Not yet a sponsor.
No, but.
It was very specific from the youngest.
Yep.
Oldest didn't care.
Yeah, for a while there we
Oh my gosh, I just remembered what I was going to go back for.
Okay.
It was your gyro pizza.
Oh, yeah.
It was a take and bake.
Yep.
That they were out of yesterday.
Yes, they were.
Oh,
they
goodness.
were very picked over. There was like 5 or 6 pizzas and one of them was cheese, just cheese.
I'm
like
thinking
at that point,
after
why?
this, I am going to have to run errands, but let's finish. So, sorry about that. I had a squirrel moment. And then what's tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow there is something different. We would normally be together. We did decide as a family we would attend our oldest daughter's church. The church that she's been going to has 2 services. It is going to be chaotic, no matter what service, because this is a mega church.
Absolutely, yes. It's huge.
Thousands of people.
Huge.
Thousands of people per service, and they generally have 2 services every Sunday. And of course, with all the visitors and yearly attenders and all that kind of stuff.
The live nativity, complete with...
That was last weekend.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, they had the live nativity complete with camels and livestock and like... Yeah, that's
But so does the
not
church
going
we're talking about going to.
Not going halfway.
They had it yesterday.
Yes.
Probably the same nativity. But
it's possible.
Probably.
But then again, we did see camels the other day.
We did, and we'll get there in a second.
Yep.
But you're going to go see a movie.
Yes.
You're going to go. That's different. We have never done such a thing.
No.
But I said that could be a gift to our oldest because she would really, really like to see it in the theater, and nobody else in the house really, really wants to go.
Yeah, I'm.
So.
I mean,
it's your awesome dad moment.
I'm game. Sure, I'm kind of indifferent. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's not like necessarily a big hot button issue for me, but she's raring to go. So I'm like, all right, you want to go? Let's go. Let's do this. I'm game. I can do this.
We're just gonna, and the reason we're gonna talk Christmas, and then I'll talk in a minute. Some of the things on my heart about Christmas that. One of the reasons why I'd said we're just going to continue with Christmas, but kind of where we're at, what we're doing, what is this season looking like? Maybe other people could resonate with how strange it is with life and schedules and things as all of your children work and they are adults and they have responsibilities and what it's like to juggle that, right? Where it's different.
Oh, yes.
It's different.
Yes, it is.
So... To back up to your lights, you love lights. We went to go see lights.
Sure. Yeah. Yes, we did.
It wasn't quite what we thought it would be because strangely, not a lot of places had lights out.
No, not really.
A lot of the subdivisions we would normally go to did not have lights.
There was the one just like ridiculous over the top house, and that one's they were. And
that was there a few years ago.
It was.
I think that's annual.
They've added to it since the last time we looked at it, but yeah, it was pretty impressive. But we drove all the way to Timbuktu to go. It's like if you've never heard of Deer Track Junction, it's a drive-through wilderness, a wildlife experience kind of thing. And they shut down in the fall and then convert it into a gigantic drive-through light show. And it was actually pretty entertaining. It was a lot. I mean, the line was ridiculous. It's like easily a quarter of a mile on the shoulder of the road. Like people just lined up.
Now, let's be clear. We have lots of exhibits around us. We are in an area we're blessed.
Sure.
And that way, Frederick Meyer Garden is having
Yes.
their first annual outdoor walk. It's like a mile of lights, but you're paying, I think it's $20 or $30 a person.
Yeah.
I get it backwards. There's the indoor exhibit that's $20 or $30, and then the outdoor that's $20 or $30. So you're paying a little bit.
If you did both, I want to say it was like $50 a head. And
Yeah,
it's like,
I just can't remember which
like,
one was which. LMCU Ballpark.
Yep.
Which is annual. They've been doing that since they were Fifth Third Ballpark. They've been doing that for a long time. I don't know how much it is a car. That's extraordinary. That's been the big one forever.
Yes. Haven't done it, but yeah.
We decided that we would venture out of town. And this was Cedar Springs, I think is technically the address. It was a little north.
Sounds right.
Wasn't that big of a deal. And it was geared for little kids, but it was fun.
It was.
It was fun and actually fascinating how they put some of that stuff together.
Oh, yeah. Some of it was really kind of cool. The giant caterpillar that you drove into its face and then drove through.
That was wild.
Was kind of trippy. And then
I like the jellyfish.
The jellyfish, yeah. They kind of did, sections were like themed. So, and they had underwater, so they had this shark fin, like, and then a giant shark jumping out of the water.
Did you drive? No, we drove into a whale mouth.
Yes.
Yes, you drive into the whale mouth.
Yes.
To take you under the sea.
Yes. There was a lot of that kind of stuff. It was pretty cool. Some animated, some different animated things, trees, and a Ferris wheel that was
Christmas Carnival.
Yeah, Christmas Carnival. You keep your eyes out. There's a little Cindy Lou Who and different Dr. Seuss inspired characters all over. It was
fun.
It was fun. And then they have a radio transmitter, so everybody can tune to the same station and listen to the music as they're going through. And they had you drove by some of the pens. I mean, you're driving through the pens, but most of the animals are, put away. But there were camels out. There was a couple of camels, and
Yep. It was cool, and you could see there was like other animals in pens, but they were like back in the dark, and you couldn't really tell.
They weren't.
But you could tell there's things moving, and you're like, oh, I don't know what that is, but
the camels were
it was cool.
Pretty cool.
It was very cool, but it was next to the nativity, so that's why it was kind of funny.
Yes,
they put the nativity next to the camels. And I have my things, right? I have my, just so you know, if you hear me drinking, I've been drinking a lot of flavored water with like extracts because water gets old. And I do drink, as I'm doing keto, I drink cocoa butter, usually like melted in water, but today it's just water for right now. And so sorry if you hear that drinking. But it has almond extract in it. And then I have my orange extract in my melted coconut oil and chocolate. 100% cacao. So I got my little treats here. You'll hear me. I'll try not to eat too much of the chocolate when I'm talking.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was fun. That was $40 a car. And it was Deer Tracks Junction.
Yep.
We saw billboards for it around town, and we were like, let's go do that. And we did, and the weather was good.
Yes.
So we did the thing. We piled in the car with the dog, which is one of the few times the dog just goes with us around town.
Yep.
And
that kind of turned out to be a bit of a mishap on our part.
She gets so excited.
Stinky thing.
She gets so excited.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go to Big B. Sorry. Yes, and there's a not yet a sponsor. And we just drive around. We just drive around. Sadly, and this year we did north, and then we came back down to the east side of town. So East Grand Rapids, the Gaslight District, typically has some beautiful displays. And I don't know if it was, I mean, we normally go like closer to Christmas. I just think it was odd there weren't a lot of lights on.
Yeah.
I remember in years past there just being more. So I don't know if they weren't on or they weren't up or both. That was kind of sad.
Yeah. But
it was still fun. There's a house with a clock tower.
Yes.
Near a hospital. And I said, I'll never forget the view, what it was like from, I think it's like I was on the third floor, wasn't I? It's not that tall.
Like that, yeah.
It's not a tall hospital. But last year, when I was in the hospital for my nephrectomy just before Christmas, and the view from the third floor, and you're looking out when the lights were on in the houses around this little lake, the hospital's near a private lake. And it was so pretty. It was just so pretty.
It was. Yeah, it's a beautiful area over there.
And that's what you can't capture when you're, ground level driving around.
No.
But it was that area. Just a quiet, pretty area. Old money, old houses.
Some of them very old houses.
Like probably original to the Grand Rapids area houses, honestly.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
called the Gaslight District because that was, the light. Gaslight was the light back when this little village was created. We didn't make it to the west side, but we spent a lot of time on the west side. And doesn't mean we can't go tomorrow, which we kind of talked about, maybe possibly. We'll see where the day takes us. So you're going to go earlier in the day. The plan, right? The plan is to go to church, the 3 o'clock service. Never been to a 3 o'clock service before. It's usually in the evening.
Not one that I wasn't working.
Which we'll get there in a second. And then you're going to go see a movie. That's a few hours. And then I'm not sure. It's supposed to be decent weather. We're grateful for that.
One can hope. Yes.
To reflect on that for a minute, as we've been reflecting on a lot of things that are different this year, as in compared to years past. And I'll bring this around to a client I had this morning. I did see a client virtually this morning. And now I'm officially on a couple-day break, right? A little Christmas break. We've talked before about the holidays being hard for everyone for various reasons.
Often, yes, we have.
And this woman, similar season of life with the older children, but still heavily involved in their lives for one reason or another, whether it's because they're neighbors, landlords, however you want to put that, just different situations, and learning more about self in that process, right? When you're not just mom and kind of doing holidays different and missing her mom because her mother's been gone now 7 years and just missing her mom. So where I could relate to that, and it being hardest this time of year because her mother left the holidays. And that conversation with her this morning, because I've only had a few sessions with her, and I had shared with her, I can appreciate where you're coming from. My mother's been gone 9 years, and my mother also loved the holidays. It's hard to not have those feelings and the need to express it. So it's perfectly fine that, yeah, it's been this many years, but it's still okay. It's okay to have those feelings and to recognize the sensitivity. It's just, what are you doing with it? And we talked a little bit about just encouraging her to find a new joy in it and appreciate mom differently at the holidays. It's not about moving past her. It's just appreciating her differently in them. Maybe that would change that a little bit. And, it's a few days before Christmas. It's not like you got the whole season to adjust to that.
Also true. Yeah.
But
yeah.
It did brought me to reflect for a moment as we've been talking on what is different this year. For us, even. I'm literally doing, often have done or am doing with my clients what I am saying. I don't know how much more authentic I could get in that way. I'm not blowing smoke, except for my clients that have lost their spouses. No, I have not experienced that. I cannot speak into that. I have experienced loss, and I can speak to that. But I can speak from a therapeutic stand in a way that is helpful just because I haven't experienced it. But there's something special about speaking into something you have gone through.
There's a different level of empathy. It's like when you've been there.
Or are there.
Yeah.
I just can't always say it that way.
True. Yeah.
Even to speak last week to one of my adolescent clients, and it was just conversation as we were wrapping up. I wanted to make it a little bit lighter. It had been a little heavier for her, and I wanted to make it a little lighter as we were ending, and we were talking about, and it was just in relation to her sister and how it came around, and I said it's okay to not date. I said neither of my daughters dated in high school, and my older daughter was asked out and did not accept that, and she's still good friends with him today.
Yes.
But she's never dated, and yes, she does have some challenges and some things there, but she does not have the interest in that way. She wants it to be the right person.
Yes.
She doesn't want to date for the sake of dating, which is the norm, unfortunately, now.
Yes.
And my younger daughter, and this is where she's 18, and she also has no interest. And then my clients were like, really? Like, really? And I shared with her in the moment. I didn't feel it was even inappropriate. It was just why? Why is she completely uninterested? You know what? Let me tell you why.
She's had some experiences lately.
Let me go ahead and tell you why. So that maybe you can relate to this in a way. And I said it that way so that you could relate in a different way, that you can appreciate how mistakes can be made, but how some of those mistakes then alter other people's lives. Because I think that's one piece in the last year in our home that we have tried to give space for our daughter on. That there was nowhere else she was going to receive that the same than our home, where we understood what she was going through, and we were kind of going through it with her, and that was because her best friend got pregnant at 16.
Yep.
She made choices. She got pregnant at 16.
Yep.
She continued to make choices, and then she got pregnant again at 17. And her sons are now a year and 4 days apart, I believe, 4 or 5 days apart. Yeah, something like that,
year and 4 days. Less than a year and a week. Yeah.
And she was 18, just turned 18. And that's something that affected our daughter greatly.
Oh, yes.
So she has zero desire to have anything to do.
At this moment. And
that's okay.
And it is. And even with our oldest.
But we tried to make it healthy.
Yes. It's like, you deal with, it's like she's just, it's like, no. Just like, I can respect that. But even like with our oldest, it's like, just kind of brought her up with if you try and force something, you're going to get the wrong thing. It's like, if you're out actively looking, you're going to find something. But is it the right thing? The thing you're looking for, you're going to find. Or you're going to find something. And then it's like, well, this is it. And it's like, well, no, actually, the thing that was the right thing is like 2 more steps down the road. But you didn't know that because you gravitated to the one that you
You're the youngest. Should we invite her in?
I mean, we could.
Youngest! Come on in. She's going to be part of the recording.
Oh, my goodness. That's never happened.
Part of an episode.
Oh, my. Oh, no. We only have the 2 microphones. I mean, trust me. They'll get it.
We're recording. Would you like to just say a word before you leave?
I'm not real. They're lying.
Well, you have to get closer because that barely shows up on the graph.
Here,
from
go
way
ahead.
Over there.
I'm not a real person. They're lying to you. Don't let them lie to you. I'm their weird girlfriend from Canada that you've never seen or heard from.
Yeah, she makes jewelry.
Nice.
She makes jewelry, sells it on Etsy.
Nice.
Love
You're going to have an
kid.
amazing day.
To my dungeon.
No, your walls keep disappearing. And we'll talk about that.
I know. People keep talking to me.
Have a day at work.
Have a day at work.
You can leave it open. Okay. All right, honey. I'll be there. I'll be in later to get the gyro pizza.
Okay.
I forgot.
If you ask a stupid question, I won't answer you.
I promise I won't. Bye. I love you. Be safe.
Yeah. She works at the popcorn department at a local store.
Well, I'm pretty sure we've talked about that.
And there's usually it's completely surrounded by a wall of bags of popcorn.
Yes, many flavors, several flavors.
Many. It's like, I mean,
I'm sure we've talked about
cheddar, jalapeno, and then the Chicago style and caramel, and they just cheesy and regular and movie theater and blah 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 blah. She could go down the list. I have no doubt she could go down the list.
Butter rum is a holiday favorite.
Oh, it was really good. And then there's the turtle and was it a peanut brittle? Yeah, peanut brittle. And usually you can't see past the wall of popcorn. It's just an immense wall of popcorn, except around the holidays when they can't make it fast enough. So now she's exposed to the world while she's working, which she's just loving that.
Yesterday when we walked in, it was the first time I had seen the walls disappeared. But I warned her. I should say the first time this year. I had warned her that the walls disappear at the holidays.
Yes.
When she was hired, they told her it was under the premise that they would train her and that she'd be ready to go. And she started this job in July.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, she'd
be ready to go for the holidays, which in their land starts in like October and just ramps up incrementally. Mm-hmm. They have events that they do and stuff. Yep. And like, so she saw some cray-cray a few weeks ago they had a live nativity event. Mm-hmm. So she's seen some cray-cray. But yesterday she saw the walls disappear in not even one day.
Yes.
We were there at we were there for the Lions game. So 4:30, 5 o'clock?
Something like that. Yeah.
They were gone.
Yes, there was very
The walls were gone.
Yes.
They had staff staying literally until midnight last night to replenish, to start over again this morning. I don't know when time they open.
Yep.
And then staff coming in early to this morning to help continue to get ready for the rest of the day. That's what it's like. And they know this, and they do their best to prep the employees for this. And I laughed out loud when we walked in. I said, do you want to see her now or before we leave? So we stopped on our way out.
Yep.
Chaos. It was chaos.
Well, and it was actually kind of fun to watch. I mean, I've swung through there. They have products at that store that I really like. And I have never seen more than 3 people in the popcorn department at that store until yesterday. And there was like 7, 8 people back there just running around. And to watch our daughter, she was just methodically moving from place to place, doing what needed to be done, systemically. It was like everybody else is running around doing just all over, and she's just in the middle of this. It's like, have you ever seen videos of people do these time-lapse videos, but there's like one subject is just kind of normal, and the world is like speeding by them like super fast. It was kind of like that. And she was going from the machine to the next thing, and then getting what she needed and moving back, and everybody else is just kind of It's like, if they'd move with a little more efficiency, I think they'd be calmer and they'd get further ahead. It was kind of entertaining to watch. It's like, okay, all right, she seems to have a rhythm, and she's just going. And yeah.
Yes. I was impressed with her. We talked to her about that.
Yep.
Yes, it was very nice. I just had somebody text me and ask me where we saw lights.
Okay.
Because I sent some photos.
Cool.
To the young mother friend that we were just talking about.
Gotcha.
That it was interesting to watch. Yes. And as we just had a conversation with her before we came up here to start recording, it was about future and life, and okay, you're probably going to at least be doing this next year, right? Probably even the year after.
Entirely possible.
Decent job, pays well enough, they work with your schedule, you know what to expect, all the things, right? Mm-hmm. Now you know what it's going to be like.
Yes.
Now you know that maybe, and this is a conversation for the future and the way she wants to go through the I'm not going to get into it right now, but it's a non-traditional way to complete a degree through, I don't even know what you'd call it, but through one of those It's like a third party. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all of it, but it's completely legitimate. I've done all the homework on that, and it's a way to save a ton of money because she does want to pay her way through at least she wants to pay her way through at least her associates. Yeah, so maybe you don't go the second term of the fall because she can have that option.
Yeah,
maybe that's not what you do next year.
Well,
who knows?
A lot of it, we're talking more about the possibilities and helping her try and plan. It's like, okay, you need to make some initial decisions and you need to make some initial steps.
Because this was stressful for her. It was her first job.
Dude, I guarantee
I
would be stressful in that. Okay?
Winter
like,
working. It was.
That's nuts.
I don't know if you can picture this. How high are those walls of popcorn? We're talking like bags of popcorn.
When they're fully they're
good sized bags of popcorn stacked up.
If you think about, it's like they're tubes of popcorn.
Yeah,
typically
stacked up.
So you got something that's maybe that big around. Let's say 10 inches in diameter. But the different types get put in different quantities. The really expensive stuff's in shorter ones, but they're like 18 inches. I mean, from here to here, 18 inches long.
But how high?
And laying on their sides, stacked like cordwood. And when they're like full, it's taller than me. So you're talking almost 6 feet tall. I mean, they've got carts and shelves and stuff, so it's not like it's just floor to ceiling. But it's like there's a privacy fence of popcorn.
Usually 6 to 8 feet around them. Which is kind of on purpose.
Yep.
But at the same time, it was gone. Yep. I don't know if you can appreciate how big this space is. I don't know. I'm not good. I'm not good with space. But
let's see. Each one of those tables, each one of those sections is they have like a clear case full of popcorn. It's like with the different flavors on it, and they hang signs off of those. Those are 8 feet apart, and there's like 4 of them. So that's like 24 feet long down the one side, and then 8 foot down the other side. So yeah, it's pretty
a lot.
It's a lot of popcorn.
She said at least 75% there the night when she left. She stayed over a few hours on Saturday, and then came home because she did have a shorter day shift. Came home, we went to go see the lights. She said it was 75% when she left, and they were supposed to get a bunch done by close at 10. So we're saying like gone in a day. And then she stayed over last night a few hours as well.
Yep.
And then again, like I said, staff staying over, staff coming in early because they expect today to be very similar. That is so wild to me. And I've seen the wall gone before in years past as we have shopped at the store. We're kind of experiencing it in a different way from her point of view, working in it. But just to have those conversations, like, we're proud of her. She's doing well in that stress. What is that? I don't get that. Like, what it is about, I do get it, actually, but the extra stress and insanity of the holidays that make people go crazy when they can't get what they want when they want it. And this is a store that's a little higher end in its things, and it's got different variety and different stuff and different clientele, right? So, once in a while, she's even dealing with some probably tipsy clientele because they have a beer and wine thing tasting on the other side.
Yeah, you can.
And events where people walk around with it.
People love this store because they can go get a beer and do their shopping at the same time.
Like, it's cracks me up. Plus the events that they have people like drinking for hours.
Yep. Oh yeah, they have they bring in food trucks occasionally, and they have live music and other stuff. But the thing that I have to admit I get a kind of a kick out of is in the midst of all of that bizarre chaos and activity, she is often the weird one in a group. She's just kind of she's my kid, she's got her bent to her. But in the midst of that chaos, it's almost like she calms down, and it's like she's the calm one in the group, which is just kind of strange. It's like, but at the same time, I can relate. It's like, when things are going smoothly, I don't know what to do with myself. When the world's on fire, Like it's like, yeah, we're charging through. We know what we got to do, and we're going to do it. So it's like I can kind of relate. I've been there. It's like the chaos is almost calming.
And this time of year, people can just be so demanding. We've already seen some things. She's talked about some things she's seen. And our other daughter being in a library, which you'd think would be calm, but no, people can still be a little high strung all year long, actually. But particularly, it seems like this time of year, it's that extra stress that comes from perfection and having to deal with family and not having enough of this or that and money and all the things that I grew up with that too. I didn't quite understand what that stress was and what that was from a child perspective. Like, I got it then as an adult, as a parent with young children. We've talked a little bit about the way we struggled and some of the things that we've been through that our kids do not remember, and they did not perceive that way because they still got a crap load of stuff every year, and they never knew the difference. Now, what they didn't understand was the debt that my mother would go into to be able to provide that Christmas.
Which was, and when it comes down to it, like a good chunk of it, it was unnecessary.
Which is the conversations that we've had with them is now they've gotten older and they're dealing with their own money. Let's talk about what Christmas is supposed to be. Not what I want you to get in this mindset now. Like, so that you can even talk with your significant other down the road, like balance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so I don't want anybody to think we're anti-present or going a little silly.
Not at all.
Not at all. But
hundreds and thousands of dollars in debt. I knew of a woman. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I know of a woman. It was a friend of my mother's from back in the day. She had a budget. I want to say it was $3,000 a child, and she had 2 or 3 children. It was a lot. A lot.
It just seems kind of absurd.
Remember, like, met her and knew her from different things that my mother would go to, like the scrapbooking stuff and things like that back in the day. And these conversations with her, she worked, like, her husband's money paid the bills and the things. She did, like, side work to be able to afford Christmas. That was her thing. Her housekeeping and her part-time job at the school and things like that. Like, what on earth?
Sure.
What on earth?
See, and when you start doing that stuff, it's like you don't appreciate it. It's not like, ooh, they're not, they don't say thank you and they don't play with the crap. But eventually, most of the stuff you give them ends up in the landfill.
The episode of The Middle, where they're going through the basement, all the presents that never got opened.
But if you think about it, it's like there's a lot of stuff that just ends up. It's very transitory. The latest greatest fad thing. It's like, yeah, and next year it's going to be supplanted by the latest greatest fad thing of that year. It's like you spent hundreds of dollars on this thing that was really cool for about a month. How about back it up a little bit? And there's a place for that, I mean, for silly stuff, because especially when you got kids, everything is transitory.
Sure.
They're very malleable. They're constantly in a state of flux. They're figuring out who they are. So yeah, there's a lot of that stuff that you're like, yeah, they're really into that this week or this month or the last 6 months. Well, and now they're not into it, and thank God they hit that point, because I would be very bald and very crazy if they hadn't gone out of their Dora stage.
Dora and Elmo.
Oh my gosh. Elmo. Anyway, but it's like, we never really gotten, like, super stupid with gift giving.
We did not. My mother did.
Your mom did, yes. But I mean, when we get, we never not had a good, fun Christmas.
There was even at our lowest points that they were too young to remember, they never went without.
No, but it's like, why don't we, it's like focus on something that's maybe a little more meaningful. Or something that's lingering, not just, I mean, fresh pack of crayons and colored pencils and coloring books when they're really little, because I'm sorry, if your kid doesn't like those, then you failed as a parent.
Wow.
I mean, it's like it's like, get rid of the tablet and let's go analog. Okay, just saying. But it's something special. Something
meaningful,
something unique. I mean, I've mentioned it before, but it's like the 1 year. It's like, part of it was we didn't have much. There wasn't extra, so everything that we did had to be very intentional. And it was like, you know what? I'm going to make them robes. That's what I'm going to do. So we went.
You did an amazing job. Yeah, pattern free, by the way.
Yeah, we went and bought a couple of yards of fleece, because let's be honest, if you're doing a robe, fleece is the bomb. And you're doing anything for your kids, fleece is the bomb. It is the most forgiving fabric. It's flexible. It's stretchy. It doesn't snag. I think
you should make some for the babies. I think we could do that, and I think that'd be fun.
And we do have a bunch of Batman fleece in the basement.
I think that'd be fun, and I think we should do that.
I think it would be very fun. I think it would be very tricky to do it for them at their age right now. Anyway, sorry.
Who cares?
But
wouldn't last. But it'd be fun. And then we save that Batman fabric for our grandchildren, because they will come someday.
Sure.
Anyway,
we could do one for our oldest right now. She would be just.
That's the truth.
But it's like I took. It's like, didn't have much, but I got a little bit of talent, and I figured out, it's like, okay, well, I would like this in a robe. So we took some pink and purple, and I made a pink robe with purple trim and a purple robe with pink trim. Because if you knew our girls, it's like our oldest is a very pink girl, and our youngest is more of a purple blues and, whatever. So it's like, it worked out great. And they wore those things for years. When they were they almost qualified as shirts before they stopped wearing them. So, that was some time and effort well spent, but it was something that, it had some meaning to it. It was practical, but it was also personal, and it had some thought and effort and energy and heart behind it. And just, not saying that everything has to be a homemade gift, but it's like, instead of just buying just random stuff, how about something that really kind of speaks to you about that person, and give them that gift? It's like, it's like, fill the stocking up with snacks and rinky-dink little weird stuff, because that's always entertaining. But, if you're going to spend the time and you're going to spend the money, make it something they remember. Even if it's not, not like remember as in made a huge splash and psychologically marked them for life, but something that 5 years from now they pick it up and hold it in their hands and go, yeah, this was Christmas 2024. It's like, that's harder to do, but honestly, I think if that was the goal, shopping would be way more interesting. In some ways, it would be tougher. Like, I was butting my head against stuff trying to figure out, it's like our youngest, it's like, I want that one more thing to add to the pile. And holy crap, she's gotten tough. She is a very complex creator.
Some of that is, as we talked about, the transition, the age of the transition. Some of it's what she's been through.
Yes.
I think.
Hands down, yes, definitely.
Took some of the. Well, it took a lot of what was left of what should have been more juvenile high school years and feelings.
Yeah, definitely.
The last year has been different.
Definitely that. And then you throw in that she's working, and she's working a lot. I mean,
she has been. She actually did overtime for the first time ever. 43 hours, I think, last week or week before, she had 43 hours.
Yeah, she put in, and she's part-time. She should never be anywhere. I don't think she's supposed to get over.
Part-time until this time of year, and then it's
just kind of
overtime is quote encoured.
Yeah, which I can understand.
But because she doesn't have any other anything.
She hasn't found right now there's no balance. It's a new job. It's still a new job. She's still feeling things out. She's still
an
figuring
adult
out.
group that she started to struggle with a little bit.
Sure.
There was some theological differences there.
Sure. Yeah.
And then just Christmas, right?
Yep.
Like it's just
well, and you put all that stuff together. It's like she's just
holidays in general.
Yeah. She's got. It just made things tricky. How was that?
It was hard enough to balance life and then seeing family, the family that we don't see much family, but just all that. So yes, you did find a cute thing. She's very particular about art supplies. Don't even bother trying to get anything.
No, you got
she buys her own.
Yeah, she kind of needs to because she's. Well, I've always kind of said with certain things that when it's your tool that's holding you back, it's time to upgrade. And most people never get to that point. That's I've kind of cracked jokes, people buying, and not denigrating Snap-on tools or Mac tools or anything like that, but the average Joe doesn't need a tool of that quality. Okay, go to Harbor Freight, buy the cheapest one that they've got, and use that because it's going to get the job done. And if you break that one, then obviously it means you need a better one of that tool.
Right.
But the average Joe could probably go his entire life and never even scratch the chrome. So it's like, but she's, or I kind of crack. I know a lot of musicians. I've known a crap ton of musicians in my time, and it's like, yeah, you got a $6,000 Les Paul custom, blah blah blah. Like, oh, okay, that's awesome, and you still suck. Like,
because it's not the guitar.
It's not the guitar, but at some point you've got a cheap instrument. You master the instrument. When it's the instrument that's keeping you from progressing further, it's time to upgrade. She has progressed to that level in her artistic talents, silly specific ones. So when it comes to paints, canvases, brushes, the type of pencils and colored pencils, and don't get her oil pastels, or she'll lose her crap on you. She hates them with a passion, but it's like, if she's at a point where the tool matters.
The tool matters.
So
I still say,
yeah. Here's some Crayolas. Merry Christmas.
Crayolas. That'd be great. Actually, we did talk about getting her the tin of popcorn, but you said no.
Yeah.
You said you weren't going to waste, I think it was, $7 or something like
something
that.
like that.
I'm like, come on. We wasted way more than that on my medical stuff, and it's been useless.
No, if we just...
come on.
If you just find the empty tin, let's buy the empty tin.
I'm still thinking we should go back and get it.
I think that would be funny. Just, put the empty tin.
Even though you already told her.
Yeah.
I think you should just do it.
It'd be funny. Maybe
and why would I say that?
Put a few kernels in the bottom so it rattles really good.
Because it's funny. But I did want to have fun with it in that way.
Sure. Yeah.
And she would have made faces and said stuff, but
she would have made her twitchy.
Fun.
Okay, it would have made her massively twitchy. We both know it, which is why I thought of it, because
absolutely.
I still have a bit of a mean. She's my daughter, and I love her to death. But man, I still got a bit of a mean streak, and I kind of like to poke the bear a little.
Heck yes.
She's rather fun. It's like she's tiny, so it's like she gets mad, and it's like an angry kitten. It's funny and kind of cute.
Oh my gosh.
She's gonna hate it that I said that, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's like it's adorable.
But our dog really wants attention right now. She's being really obnoxious.
She does that, don't you?
But even just in terms of celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
As I've been encouraging my clients that are struggling for one reason or another, and it's definitely going to impact their holidays. It's about, as even the woman I talked to this morning, it's almost like allowing yourself to just enjoy it in a way that's meaningful to you. It's not about your children. It's not about your husband. It's not about anybody else but you. It's not even about her father, because her father's going to feel how he's going to feel. And that loss, and whatever that looks like, of his wife. And another client that I talked to last week, I forgot, it was Monday. A client that I talked to last week, just when you lose a spouse, when you lose half of yourself, right? Because I mean, that's what that is when you've been together a very long time. There's a sense of self that has to be found, has to be created or found, or both. And the impact that can have on holidays and traditions and things is difficult. And I'd already talked to that particular client about Thanksgiving, and the impact even on her adult children is very real, even though it has been years. Does not matter. I think 7 years in her case. It doesn't matter. It's still there. It's still real. Mm-hmm. And here we are. My mother's been gone almost 9 years. Excuse me, 10. This is the 9th Christmas, right? Yeah. Almost 10 years. And just finally this year, feeling like it was normal. And our oldest daughter, said something about that. I don't know if you were standing there.
Not sure.
Maybe you weren't. That it did finally feel like a normal, okay Christmas. And it's funny to say it like that, but just that. And as that you mentioned it earlier, and I wanted to come back to it. We were used to serving.
Yep.
Many years. I mean,
yes.
many. And
yes.
The 27 years that we have been married, I would say easily 20 to 25 of those have been serving in some capacity.
I would say probably at least 20. Yeah. I don't know about 25.
I said 20 to 25.
I know.
I mean, I can't count all the gaps, but there aren't that many.
20, 21, somewhere around there. Yeah,
there aren't that many.
No, not really.
In all of our years together, we have been attending a church. This is the longest span that we've gone. I think second longest span.
Second, when we first came.
When we first came down, it took us a minute.
Yep.
But but not serving on a holiday in some capacity.
Yep.
Is strange.
It's very weird.
It was an adjustment moving from northern Michigan, and then we did, have our time where we attended somewhere else there for a minute, like a sister church that we were supporting. That church was supporting, and then to come down here, it took you a minute to jump in, but we were even before you jumped into sound, we were still serving and we were still involved. And
because
our kids,
the girls were involved, so we were involved because they were involved. But yeah,
this stage is different now. We're discussing attending a different church in the new year. We think we've come to an agreement on that, but not the church that our oldest daughter's attending. And she's choosing like the town mega church. But she's at home there.
One of, anyway.
She's at home there.
She is very comfortable there. She's found a group of friends there where she's really fitting in. It's like, you know what?
She feels fed.
Exactly.
She has fellowship. She's happy.
And
we're glad for her.
And you know what? And there's something to be said for kind of being out on her own in that regard.
Yes.
So we
did something right there.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, it's her church, not our family church. It's her church by her choice.
Which is a very big deal for her.
It is. And at the same time, it's like, I think that's kind of a good thing. It's like that little bit more, I mean, yeah, she'll be my baby girl forever, but she's not a baby girl. She's a grown young woman who's still figuring,
she still needs a good amount of support, but
she's finding her place
doing
in the
very
world.
well.
Yes, she is. She's doing phenomenally well. I think we did okay. And anyway.
Our younger daughter, even, I mean, when I asked her, I said, I'm not telling, you're not at a stage where I tell you. I'm asking you. I'm telling you what we're doing. And if you would like to come with us, you may do that. And she did not hesitate.
Yep.
There's still that something that we've instilled in them, that Christ is still the center of Christmas. And going to church is still important to us, even though we've had to take our break for our reasons. It is important in some way to worship somehow, whether, and from what I'm understanding, the churches that, the few that we've talked about, we're looking at, they're not airing them. They're not live stream. Nope. So you go or you don't take part in that. when our oldest asked us to go, I thought it was sweet and like, okay, well, what would that look like? And of course, it wasn't like we would hesitate. It was just how would that look for timing and stuff. And
yeah, and sure,
we'd never gone that early before.
No,
I don't ever remember a service being that early.
No.
I don't ever remember being told, do your best to arrive an hour early when the doors open because, we're going to have extra people. And when you've gone and you've already seen what normal full looks like, when you are up
in the nosebleed balcony section
in the normal Sunday, and you're like, okay, all right, that sounds about right. Just to have that conversation, like what would that timing look like and all that. And then when the movie thing came up, like we've never, just the things that we haven't done, that it's okay. My youngest is going to do my nails while you are at the movies with the oldest. We're going to, turn on some Christmas music or put on a movie or something, and she's going to do my nails. We, as I guess you'd say, we call it a family gift, but clearly it's not for you.
Not so much, but at the same time, hey, why not? Honestly,
you said you'd do my nails.
Sure, I will give it a shot. Why not?
Cat eye nails.
I haven't done your nails in freaking years, so sure, why not?
The cat eye nail polish. Yep. That you put the magnet to it.
Now, at the same time, I think some of that could be really cool on other stuff. So it's like that could be cool. As a highlight on.
Why not?
Sure.
Because of all the things going on with my nails.
You need a little reinforcement.
Thought I'd make them pretty.
Yeah.
But
give them a little coat of armor probably wouldn't hurt either.
A little dry and they separate and just weird things happen in there. But anyway.
Yes.
It was, and probably food for probably lunch is what I'm going to guess. I think COVID changed a lot of things.
Yes, it did.
A lot of places do not just stay open anymore.
Nope.
Even in the city here, where we have 100 options in a few mile radius, they're still closing early, and they should. They should enjoy holidays and
by all
time
means.
off.
Well, I think I had this conversation with somebody recently that one of the things that COVID did, I mean, there was a lot of the lockdowns killed so many businesses.
It was awful.
And so many but there was a benefit that came out of a lot of that. Is that people became very aware of how much they didn't need to go out.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, you go out and enjoy it and have a blast, and support your local businesses and your mom and pop restaurants and little cafes, and have at it. But people had to figure out very quickly that I didn't need to. It's like we were doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it, and they kind of took it for granted, and then suddenly it wasn't there, and then they became much more aware of how much they were kind of wasting and not appreciating. And I think to a degree that is a benefit. It's like knowledge is important, and taking things for granted is never helpful. But that also, unfortunately, means that businesses don't stay open as much because they don't have the same level of business. Because people realized, I don't need to go out to eat.
Things have changed, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Now, it's like I want to find that balance. It's like I want those businesses to thrive. Like, man, I don't want to see a restaurant that's been running for 20 years and some family go under. I don't want that. But at the same time, people realizing it's like I can stay home and be with my family and spend way less money and have a much better time in some cases. It's like, find that balance. It's like, find that balance. And then go out and get the bacon fries or whatever.
Did you say bacon fries?
Yes, bacon fries.
What is on your mind?
Do you remember the bacon fries?
You don't remember where?
We went to go see Weird Al downtown, and there's that steakhouse in the same venue, and they had bacon fries.
Sorry, that clearly stood out much, much more to you.
It's bacon fries.
I remember going out to eat, but I don't remember the bacon fries.
You don't remember the bacon fries?
Was it literally just bacon?
It was literally just, it was bacon,
twisted up.
but it was like 1/4-inch square like fries, and then they fried them so they were crispy, and it was.
Oh my goodness.
They were lovely.
They were lovely.
They were lovely.
I would say I'm down 15 pounds. 15? No. 13? 13. 13. Sorry, math. 13.
Sure.
Very slow with my keto, because in the beginning I went full out, and then I upped it a little bit so I could actually like eat carbs again someday and it not be catastrophic. And I've done a lot of experimenting and going back and forth, so I haven't remained in absolute ketosis for months. But it's working well, and we have been eating more bacon.
Well,
so
yeah.
I love how you talk about like different ways that we can make bacon, but we don't have a deep fryer. We don't have that.
Yeah, but we have an air fryer, and we can approximate, because there's enough fat in them by themselves. You don't need.
We do.
Doesn't need a lot of extra. Just saying. It's a possibility. Just saying.
But we know this Christmas that we've been talking about, just Christmas for us, the struggles, the things. We've tried to, we did Toys for Tots. We talked about leaving a nice tip somewhere.
Yep.
We didn't get that done already. I would have liked to have, but we didn't. So we have some time. The holiday season is still here.
We don't go out to eat much.
We don't.
So it's not like
we really don't.
That's
I tried to tip nicely.
We have to make a special trip
at the valet when you had your surgery. I did that. But just the special things that you can be generous. However you can be generous, whatever that is.
Sure.
Is that your money? Is that your time? It doesn't have to be some big event thing. It's just what can you give?
Well, I think
what makes it special to you to be able to provide.
Sure. Well, and
giving trees. There's giving trees everywhere.
There's giving trees everywhere. It's like you've got a neighbor. I guarantee you've got a neighbor that's going through some stuff.
Absolutely.
And even if you don't know, it's like, I know they're going. It's like I heard that this person's not doing very well. You know what? It snowed. Go do their driveway. Go do their sidewalk.
We found out
go take their mail up to them.
An elderly man and his wife down the street from us. She's gone on hospice.
Yep.
And we don't know details. We don't know them well.
Nope.
We've tried to help them out with their snow removal in our time here.
Heck yeah.
Clearly unwell over the years. She's gotten worse and worse.
Well, and
she's been homebound for some time.
When, you've been married for over 50 years.
Absolutely.
There's.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
We went to a wedding. So we had a neighbor, the mutual neighbor between us.
Yes.
And a few years ago, a year and a half ago or so, we went to our neighbor's wedding.
Yes.
And then that elderly couple went. They were the ones on the dance floor that had been married the longest. And I wish I could remember how long.
Yeah, it was.
But it was over 50 years.
It was like 56 years or something like that.
I remember that.
Long time.
I do remember that.
I want to say he's just about 80.
They've got to be in their 80s.
Yeah.
They've got to be.
Yeah, and he's in rough shape too. Not. It's like she's having a bad time.
She's had health issues. We've known that.
Yes.
But the point is, when you know somebody's struggling, now we would not have known. You don't just know things like that. It is about knowing people, about having conversations, and our mutual neighbor let us know.
Yes.
So then, when the snow came down like crazy the other day out of nowhere, yes. We took the extra step to remove the snow.
Yeah, went down there and not a problem.
Is there much we could really do for them right now? No. And we don't know them well. They have family. We see a lot of the cars coming and going. We're glad that people are coming around for them.
Most definitely. Well, and I think it's not necessarily...
it's not stuff and things.
It's not stuff and things. I think in a lot of cases, it's not... even making sure you're seen, it's making your presence known. I guess is like they step outside and go, I don't have to shovel. Oh wow, who did that?
And you said you showed up just before the hospice staff.
Yeah,
and you know that because it's on the car.
And it was like she came in. She went in with a medical bag.
Yeah.
I was doing
on
the driveway when she pulled up. But and then I came back to the house. It's like no, got this, and I got her shovel so I could do the walk. And it was like, you know what? It's like I usually I help them out, but I usually don't do that part. It's like his So one of his sons or grandsons comes over and does it. But I get a majority of the snow removal so they can leave the house because they go out through the garage, not through the walk. And I, get up by their mailbox. Why not? Because now you don't have to deal with that crap. But it's, it's like,
it's a little thing.
Yeah,
but
just a little. It's a little thing, but it can make a huge amount. It's like just when you're in the middle of that one. It's like now I got to deal with snow, and it's like I don't. Somebody took care of me. It's like it's a simple thing. It's like yeah, he knows it was me. I've done it for him before, but I'm not making a point of hey, look what I did. No, it's like dude, you need a hand. I got you covered. The neighbor, it was last winter, but the neighbor across the street, kind of kitty corner. It had snowed really bad. She's coming home from work, got halfway in the driveway and got stuck. And she's just kind of like, I'm on my tractor. So I stop what I'm doing and I just ride over. It's like, if you can get out, I'll clear you a path. It's like, well, what do I owe you? Nothing. You're my neighbor. You're stuck. I can help. And I'm in a position where I can help. Neighbors a couple houses down. It's like usually, a lot of the stuff I do involves snow removal. Because when you get a lot of snow down here, it kind of sucks. Mm-hmm. But somebody's out there with a shovel trying to get that crud that the snowplow threw in their yard. Like, oh, no. I have a 23 horsepower tractor. You don't got to use a shovel. And I'll just get over there and just buzz it for them.
The only time that I will say that your overkill tractor matters.
It is
so true.
Yeah, we got to drive.
You remember it's the movie Scrooged. It's the end of the movie Scrooged in his speech, right? Bill Murray. That is, it's giving, right? It's not just cliche and corny. No. It's the truth.
Well, and sometimes
you're in touch with that,
yeah,
right?
It just you don't you don't have to make a show of it. You don't have to. So you just help out and know you did the right thing for somebody. It's like I can't do much, but. And I've told people that before. It's like, you know what? I know I can't do anything to help, but if you think of anything, you let me know. I will be here. All right?
It's Scrooged, man.
It's Scrooged.
The joy can happen for you.
Yeah, it can happen for you. And the trick really is not looking for. It's like do it to do it. Do it whether they notice it or not. Do it whether they acknowledge it or not. Just do it because it's the right thing. And I'll tell you what, that will change your day.
It's true. It's very true. And I know, and the economy is what it is. We could all talk for hours about how rough it's been and what's happened to retirement accounts and just everything.
Retirement. Sorry.
It's okay.
See,
I hear that. I feel that. Well, I'm here with you.
Okay, well, it reminded me that I shared it with you. It's like retirement. It's like, what are you talking about retirement? I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to pick up half a shift on the day of my funeral. There's a good chance I'm going to have to help dig the hole.
Yeah, that was awful joke, but semi-true. But that's for the first time in a long time, I could say that I feel like we're on the same page in it. Our relationship, of course, has been through a lot of things. It's been a weird year.
Yeah.
It's been a weird year.
Yeah.
And
it's been an interconnected 27 weird years.
Okay, the last couple have been really okay.
Some of them smelled bad. Some of them just went together weird.
Two have been really weird, in particular, right?
Sure,
and just
sure.
I had said, and as I've started to write my book, and I haven't worked on it in a long minute, but there's something about Christmas for the last several years that had brought strife and hardship and bad news and pain and just icky things that I didn't want more of. I'd already had enough things I could correlate with the holidays that were difficult.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And it seemed to always surround around bad news from doctors or something that didn't go right or just a lot of loss and more pain and things.
Yep.
And this year, of all the years, right, I saw a new specialist just before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I took a chance on it.
Yep.
Lord knows I didn't want to spend more money.
Not really.
But we did.
But we did, yeah.
Completely out of network.
Yep.
Out of pocket.
Uh-huh.
Thank God he takes the payment plan.
Yes.
is an $800 intake. It was a 2.5 hour, very thorough intake, but it was $800.
Yes.
I mean, incredibly thorough. He had a lot of stuff to go through, and I knew he did, and he earned his money, and I'll pay it. And do I understand why he doesn't take insurance? 100%.
Yes.
Do I understand?
Yes, wholeheartedly, without a doubt.
Medicine, 5 medications to start. 5. I've never been on that many at once. In all these years, even when they thought I had lupus, I was not on 5 at once. It was like a build-up and then a take-back and a build-up and a take-back, but never 5 at once. And looking at this like, no, you're going to start with this and you're likely going to be on this many, maybe just a few less, possibly, but you're going to be on things the rest of your life. Well, I already expected that if there was, I mean, this is how it's been, right? And I'm talking pharmaceutical, not supplement. I shared with Fix It over there. I think we finally found a Fix It, sir. I think something is finally different.
Yes.
I ate a good handful of popcorn. And normally for a long time, years, before I even realized that was the problem, I felt my joints were on fire. They were stiff and they burned and it was awful. It was a terrible experience. Corn specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Gluten has its thing. Eggs has its thing. But corn or any derivative thereof.
Mm-hmm.
If it had enough of corn protein, it was rough. And I knew it and I could tell you. It didn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't hurt.
Which is a nice...
It didn't hurt at all.
Which is definitely a nice change.
And about 2 hours after I ate it, I realized it never hurt. Like, what?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
And this was just a few days ago.
Uh-huh. I remember.
This was just a couple days ago.
You were very excited.
I was like, what?
You're very excited. Yes.
All of these pills are just antihistamines. They're just different kinds. I don't understand it all. I've read all the stuff and I've done the research with it, but they're just different kinds. There's one, H1, is it HN1, 2, whatever, man.
There's different.
And then one an off-label.
Yep.
So it was a buildup of medications to certain amounts, and then one every week, so that I knew whether or not I was going to have bad side effects. Including when I take at night, there's also an antihistamine that helps me sleep, because that also helps some of those receptors shut down, so that some of the pain doesn't hit me at night. Some of my facial pain and neuralgia. And I've noticed, I'm tired. I am more tired. I do feel that.
Yeah,
but it's effective. I'm sleeping through the night, the vast majority of nights. But now I've hit the 5th pill. The 5th pill was just a few days ago, and then that's a slow build up from a 0.5 to a 10. So it's a long build up.
Yep.
But then you don't go more than 10. So I'm at that last pill, that last stage. But it felt good to have hope.
Mm-hmm.
I have been paying attention to how I've been feeling. I have noticed some things. I am going to be going for Botox New Year's Eve day of all the days, right? So my neurologist takes a vacation during Christmas. God bless her. So I'm going to get it a little bit late. But kind of, there's so many variables in this. And and again, we could talk for hours on how the system sucks. But you call it migraines. It's not migraines. It's like, what of any of this can we do anything about? And I'm still in Band-Aid stage. I'll still get the dry needling. I'll still get the Botox. But these pills, it's like, what can these pills do? And while we wait for them to all come together in that dosage. Mm-hmm. And in winter, which is not summer, it's a different pain. So extreme cold is different than extreme humidity and heat. I know. You got to love the nervous system. It's just fun. It's just so much fun.
It has its moments, yeah.
But hope. Oh, what is that? That is an alarm to remind me to do something that I will do when I'm done.
Okay.
It's hope that I haven't had, and hope that was given to me, ironically, at Christmas of all the seasons, right? When I had really settled many years ago for Christmas just always sucking. For one reason or another, whether it be the personal things that happen and the feelings and the emotions and the stuff. But when you've had bad news perpetually every freaking December Sometimes you get lucky. It's November too.
Yep.
For years.
Mm-hmm.
Years.
Yep.
This is 13 years. Tomorrow, Christmas Eve Day, will be 13 years since my saga began. I felt hope. I thought, oh my gosh, all these pills. It cost about $100 a month. But all of these pills could make a difference. And
which in a lot of ways is
kind
of cheap compared to some of the stuff.
Oh my gosh. In the scheme of things, I've paid hundreds of dollars for one injection every week. And we did that for months. Months.
Yep.
So 2 years ago, when we found out that the Lyme injections would no longer be covered. Mm-hmm. And it was earlier this year that we kind of changed route in how we were going to pay for that. So now it's that treatment's different now. And I feel okay though. I feel okay. I don't. Mm-hmm. So that's about $200 it needs to be every month, but I'm working on that. It's this reality, right? That our Christmases, it's funny. I mentioned this. It dawned on me last year, really heavier than any other year, because of the year prior being so hard and I was in such a dark place. You know, it was Christmas Eve day of all the days, right? So you don't forget the day that you woke up so sick that you could barely move and you felt like you wanted to die. And then the days never stopped coming that you just wanted to die because you were in so much pain. And to finally get to a place where I wasn't in pain was extraordinary in and of itself, but then that journey that just kept going, that was always marked by such a significant holiday. It's the holiday that you have every year. You don't forget it. You don't miss it. And I realized I didn't really grieve that for what it was, right? So then when the holidays would come and it was just hurtful and it was just painful after my mother had passed, it was just one thing after another. And then it always just seemed to be awful. And this was the first year. It hasn't been awful. It hasn't been awful at all. I'm functioning in my career, which, praise God, we both didn't know if this day would ever come, but it was what we were striving for. Mm-hmm. It's what you supported me in, and so many loved ones that supported me in, and still do. I have a few that stuck in there with me. And then earning money from that, right? I earned the money to be able to pay that doctor, which I haven't been able to do in a really long time. And hope with the other day. I know might sound so silly to somebody listening to this. It's sorting it all out, right? It's sorting it all out. Why didn't the allergy shots work? Well, maybe because there was more behind that. In mast cell activation syndrome, it's called MCAS for short. MCAS, as in Sam. The more I researched, the more I saw, and then just talking with my physical therapist the other day, having to change a workout routine, maybe for just long term, keeping that nervous system down, the polyvagal nervous system, which I'm beginning to study more of from a mental health standpoint. And I have been on and off for the last couple of years, but now I'm doing it strong in a different way for myself, and how it's all tied together. And I was sad. Having that conversation, thinking, I said, I just looked right at him. I'm like, Mike, who's going to show me how to do this? Who's going to show me how? I said, I don't know what to do. I've already changed everything I ever knew doing all of this. I ended up with you because I kept going after changing something and hurting myself. So and almost 2 years with him, by the way, which is kind of funny. But because now he provides my dry needling, he doesn't provide the physical therapy on my shoulder, but that's how we started. And then he did my surgery recovery therapy with me. Well, twice he did surgery recovery therapy with me. But, he told me a couple things: low rep, low weight, or I always settle for a warm-up set and like a low set, like 3-5 tops of higher weight. He said, and that's it. There's just never more. And you don't do it with more than like 2 exercises. And I just like stared at him a little bit, and I was like, I got emotional. I admit I got emotional. I think he saw that on my face, and I said, you know what? I think I'm okay with that. And I'm emotional right now talking about it. Like, I think I'm okay with that. And I really genuinely was. I was sad for what that means, right? Like the last of everything I knew that really got me through. But I think the things got me through because they needed to get me through. And if it has to be different now, then it has to be different now. But, like, we haven't talked about this yet. If we had more listeners, I think it's time to sell the hex bar. I don't think I should do it anymore. It's very hard on me. I know that it's hard on me. Is it good for me? In many ways, it's very good for me. Is it good for the aftermath and how I feel? Not necessarily. And I have to pay more attention to that, right? So what does that mean? Does that mean Pilates with weights? What does that mean? I don't know. I'm figuring it out. And don't you love New Year's resolutions, right? Like everybody goes into that. Everybody's going to like lose weight and do all the things. And I was like, sweet, perfect time to sell the hex bar. Fine with me. Let's talk about that. I got locks that can go with it. Not weights though. But it's reality. But it was a reality that came at Christmas, right? And actually, that was before the popcorn. So I felt, it just didn't sting as hard as long as I think it would have in just a few years prior. It's just, what is long-term health going to look like? And man, if I'm shooting for 90, I'm half done, man. Like I got to care. Functional strength. Functional strength. What is that supposed to look like for somebody that has a nervous system that is incredibly sensitive? And I don't mean that in some like I'm a sensitive person thing. I can see the look on your face. Nobody else can see the look on your face. But like, I don't know. There's something about it. It's been Christmas. It's always been awful news at Christmas. Holidays. My father started it and jaded it at Thanksgiving so many years ago. And it's just been kind of awful since. And this year, even with that rough conversation with my physical therapist, I still feel like I feel joyful, and I feel hopeful, and I feel good about the future. Yes, I'm sad. Yes, I'm frustrated. Yes, I've got some feelings there. But I'm reflective enough, and I'm honest enough to just keep telling God, like, I don't know what you've ever had planned for any of this, but I know it's my job to steward as best I can moving forward. And he's still making beauty out of the ashes. I mean, that's just what it is. It's not me. It's not me and my power. It's me rolling with it. And to have a new specialist that is an open Christian, love that. Absolutely love that. And then ask permission to be able to speak that way to us. Love that as well. We had the music playing in the background. There was stuff all over the office. Like, it was just very clear. And, it was just something to be hopeful for. Instead of just, and we prayed over the pills. We prayed over them. We prayed about it. We prayed in this process, like, really, one more? Do I have one more in me? Do I have one more? And my physical therapist, well, I've been doing some research on you. I've been doing some thinking. Famous last words. Oh, there it goes. I know. I gotta stop now because I do have something I need to take care of. But I think we should take next week off. We're going to take next week off. We're going to celebrate. We're going to do some things. We have some family to go visit.
Sure.
Thank you for allowing us to be late this year, a day late, right? Or this week.
Couple days late.
Couple days late, whatever. We'll We'll talk about some topics and some things. I've had some ideas, and we'll just
Sure.
see where this goes in the new year. It won't just be us talking and
Very
talking
cool.
about Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
In case, apologize for any of you that hate Christmas, but
Get over yourself.
you yawn. I know you're
Sorry.
tired. It's past your bedtime.
Yep.
So, I hope you all have a very blessed Christmas, enjoying the loved ones and whatever you're going to do, and find the joy in the season and
Yeah, go find some fun. Yeah.
whatever that is, man. Whatever that is.
Yep.
If that's watching a silly movie, if that's staring at the snowflakes, if that's making a snowman,
Buying a dog.
buying a dog.
Alone you mind.
Oh my gosh, there's so many dogs in shelters.
So many. Yes.
Heard that a lot lately. A lot
I
of
don't know.
lot
I
of
don't
full
need another
shelters.
dog.
No,
No, I
no,
don't need another dog. One.
no.
She's plenty.
No. Yeah, I'm not doing more.
No.
No.
But, hey, definitely go that route if you're thinking that way.
Yes.
Go find yourself an old dog. They're very appreciative.
We've had a few.
Yes, we have.
We've had a few.
Yes, yeah.
And this one, we got her young. So hopefully we have her a few more. 5 years now. It's been 5 years. Was it December 15th? I think it was. It was a few weeks ago.
Something like that. Yep.
It's, yeah, but she was I don't remember. I'd have to think about it.
Yep.
I think she was 3 when we got her, not almost, like 2.5, something like that. And we've had her 5 years. So I want to say she'll be 8 this coming summer. So she's 7 now. I want to say she's like 7.5.
Sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something
But she was the youngest dog that we've gotten. So we were really hoping
Sure.
to have her for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
Unless she keeps peeing on my deck, then.
Oh, stop. It's cold. You stick your butt in the snow and go pee.
That wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me nearly as much if right after she pees on the deck, if she doesn't go run around in the yard. It's like, it's a wooden deck. I'm going to have to replace those boards because they're just ruined at this point.
Fine. We'll get new boards.
It's annoying. Anyway, sorry. Unimportant. side. Yeah, definitely a sidetrack right there. That was
Squirrel. Okay, back to
And we're
everyone
back.
have an incredibly Merry Christmas, no matter what you do, but hopefully it's a joyful one.
Most definitely. Get out there and enjoy some of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff out there. Go
Thanks
find
for
it.
letting us share our Christmas saga with you.
So with that, I'm Fix It.
And feel it.
We hope you join us in the future.
Until next week.
You have a great one and a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.